Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, play to earn, NFTs, and price. And today, guys, we've got another Axie Infinity update for the back cards that we will see in Origins. That's Battles v3 if you're not familiar, and I think you are familiar if you're following this channel. So let's get on into it. I want to talk about each one of these back cards and what I think will be awesome in Origins. So I'm just going to skip the details here. I was going to do a video today, guys, on the Spaces, the Twitter Spaces conversation that went on yesterday, and it was a very good conversation. I have some thoughts on that. Maybe I'll record another video today, maybe post that tomorrow, maybe later today. But I'm looking forward to talking about that. But it was one of those TLDR things where if you didn't listen to the whole thing, you might miss something. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the Spaces, and they were talking about the Axie Infinity Creators program. So anyway, let's move on to back cards. So starting with Reptile, guys, I wish I could make this a little bit bigger for y'all to see, and maybe I can with just a little bit of zoom in here. There we go. So Bone Sale, target any ally next turn. After the target is attacked, draw one card. Fairly similar to, I mean, a lot of these are fairly similar to what they currently are, but with different, you know, they're not drastically different by any means, but they're going to have different utility, because I do think something like Tri-Spikes will attack the entire team. So deal 3 hits at 25. You know, currently Tri-Spikes, I believe, does what? It's I think 40 damage times 3, if I'm not mistaken. And so or maybe I'm getting it mixed up with Furball, but similarly, deal 3 hits could be that it deals 3 hits 3 times to the opposite team, or it deals damage to all 3 Axies on the other team. So it'll be interesting to find out. One I'm particularly interested in, as I've done a lot of breeding with the Indian Star lately with the Reflectile. Target any ally next turn. After the target is attacked, reflect 25% of shield lost. So that's a little bit interesting. I think because these cards have damage and shield, we're going to have like a shock of a shield maybe. I mean, that's interesting graphics we got going on here. So that one's very interesting to me. Another back card I want to focus on here is we've got Pigeon Post. So add 1 blackmail to opponent's hand. So it's interesting. It's going to be blackmail to the opponent's hand. Same thing with Raven, where actually shuffle 1 Jinx into your opponent's discard pile. So it's really interesting what we've got going on here. Very different card, descriptions going on. Cupid's interesting. Apply bleed for 4 turns, which I think will be similar to poison, perhaps, where poison is going to be a recurring thing. I think bleed will be something that happens for 4 turns, similar to fear for 4 turns. And this is something that's interesting. So I watched Gugis's video on the tail cards, guys, and he was talking about longer games because of the 4 turn, like fear for 4 turns on Balloon or something similar is going to would in the sense of Axie Infinity Battles v2, which we're currently in, would mean that we'd have much longer games if it went on for 3 turns. However, I think they're going to change turns. The change in the mindset is we have to think of turns being each Axie attacking rather than a full round. So right now we deal in rounds, right? Fear for the next round is what you would get from fear, right? Or fear during the current round even. So where apply fear for 4 turns means the next 4 Axies that get to attack or defend, right? The next 4 Axies to take their turn is really how I think this is going to work out. Obviously, I could be wrong, and Gugis could be right, but I think this is going to be more of a turn-based rather than round-based sort of gameplay, and so that will make a big difference. So a couple other things I want to look at. I want to look at beast cards. Ronin in particular. I know there's so many people using Ronin, especially right now because it is in meta. Deal 50% more damage per energy spent on this turn. So it's interesting that we're going to, I mean, it's like having played other cards, each one of these is going to cost an energy. There's one thing I've noticed here is we're not seeing any 0 energy cards here. In fact, we're seeing more 2 energy cards than we are seeing 0 energy cards, which is really just a different mind shift, guys, in the way that we're going to see Battles V3 or Origins play out. So it'll work similarly. There's not going to be any crits, and there's not going to be the speed and HP values per class are going to be wiped out, from what we understand. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to attack first, who's going to, is it going to just be card per card? I'm not really sure how that's going to work. And I think energy spent on this Axii is going to be similar to Ronin how it works today. So, right now you have to play Ronin, and you have to play it with 2 other cards to get the crit, right? So adding 50% more damage per other energy spent makes it fairly similar. So with the critical, you get double damage on the current card. So, or at least that's the multiplier. So with this, if you play it with 2 other cards that cost energy, or play it with other cards that cost more than 1 energy, you're going to get 50% more damage per energy, which can be pretty interesting. Now, the damage multiplier should be is going to be interesting too, though, because look at this, 40 damage for Ronin here, where we currently have 70 damage with the current Ronin. So very different gameplay, very different mindset. We're going to have to rethink how we play Axie Infinity Origins versus Battles V2. So a couple other things. Let's see. One other very ubiquitous card here, Scarab. Gain 30 shield, apply doubt for 4 turns. We don't know what doubt is going to be. That'll be interesting to find out. Garish Worm still has poison. Goldfish, if initial, draw 1 card. Now so initial seems to be a speed factor, right? So we're going to see how they're going to work out who's going to go first, like I mentioned earlier, and because speed attributes are going to be gone, just as well as health attributes from at least from what we understand. So if initial, draw 1 card. So a drawn card on Goldfish doesn't, you don't get a speed boost like you do in the current gameplay, and so they're giving you an extra drawn card. So pretty interesting there. Plants, another ubiquitous plant, a couple of them I should mention. Bidens, obviously, target any ally, remove all debuffs on target. So fairly similar to current. And then Pumpkin, which interesting here, is very, very similar. So target any ally next turn. After the target is hit or attacked, draw 1 card. So just a little bit of a tweak there in how the utility works for Pumpkin. 60 shield obviously isn't as great as the current shields, but I think the dynamics of health, like how much HP you have, is going to change drastically as well. I don't know if we'll have the same amount of HP going forward, or if we'll have less. And we'll just have to find out, guys, or if they're lowering the shields to make it more of a fast gameplay. So we'll find out. With that, guys, I don't have much more to add to this. Let me know what cards you would like to see reviewed in future. I look forward to mouth and horn cards to come out, guys, to be able to talk about them here as well. But moving forward, I would love to hear what you're looking forward to, or maybe what's even making you a little bit nervous in the Axies that you currently have versus how the cards are starting to stack up. And if you're getting any more idea of what to expect out of Origins. I mean, there's a lot to dissect here, guys. There's a lot of detail in these cards to kind of look through, kind of get the Easter eggs, to see if there's anything you can glean from the what may work in Origins for you based on the Axies that you currently have. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.